Flirties, here we are again for another Flirtini, the ninth in an experiment here on flirtations. It has no end in sight. Many more Flirtinis coming, as today we're going to be talking about intuition versus anxiety. What each of these are and how you can know the difference. All right, let's start with a collective moment of grounding, taking a deep breath through the nose, filling up, getting really full through the lungs, feeling your collarbone rise, and exhale through the mouth, relaxing the shoulders, the jaw, the brow, settling in here to this flirtini. And I also have, surprise, a special treat for you up on FlirtTube. That's YouTube, a meditation all about cultivating, really connecting to your intuition. The meditation will be here in the flirtini. So you don't need to go anywhere, but if you would prefer the video, yes, that is available on FlirtTube. Okay, let us talk about now what is anxiety and how can you differentiate that from intuition? Because I know when you're out there dating and just living life, oftentimes these experiences are going to become very blurred. And certainly you can experience anxiety and intuition at the same time. So, how can you start to untease what is an anxious response if you have anxious attachment, something like that, a moment of panic, even from, what is my gut telling me? What is my intuition, right? That inner knowing telling me? And how can I listen to it and trust myself more? Okay. Anxiety, I like to describe as often a reaction to something happening in our lives that is really rooted in fear based on something that has happened to us in our past or a worry, some type of attachment concern we have to what is going to happen in the future. So, as an example, let's say you reach out, you're starting to talk to somebody, you text them, and they don't text back right away. Maybe they're taking a few hours, whereas before they were texting back instantly, right? They were being very quick with their communication. Now you're starting to feel anxious. Oh my gosh, what is wrong? This happened to me in the past with someone else I was dating, someone else I was talking to or seeing. And yeah, now you're thinking the worst. It didn't work out that time. It's not going to work out this time. Oh my gosh, you're jumping into the future now. What could possibly be wrong? Are they seeing someone else? Are they on another date, right? Why are they ignoring me? Here you go, kind of spiraling in this space of anxiety. Your anxiety really rooted in fear that something is wrong, that something is amiss based on what has happened to you in the past, or you're starting to future project, yes, and determine, okay, now your mind is searching for answers. Your analytical mind is taking over, looking for what is wrong. Let me problem solve. Let me find a solution so I can work my way out of this feeling of anxiety. So it is often a reaction to something happening in your life, and it comes with this kind of urgency, right? Where maybe you were totally okay going about your day, your work day, right? You're hanging out with friends, and then you send this text, you don't get the response back right away and you were good before, and now it's, oh my God, what is wrong? What's happening? Anxiety often comes with a lot of course, physical sensations in the body. You may start to feel warm, you're sweating, your stomach hurts, your heart's racing, you're feeling tense. You got to, maybe you're kind of, if you've heard of flight, fright, freeze, and even the fawn response. So where is your nervous system going when it starts to go into overdrive and into overwhelm? Do you feel like you can't move yet internally you're just sort of going on overdrive? Do you feel like you need to run away, like you needed to reach out and text back and double text and what's happening? You need to reach out to a friend, a family member, something like that, talk through it immediately, right? Going into that kind of fright response. So there's two examples of freeze and fright, or flight rather. Yeah, flight. The fright response, just going into every single thing that can possibly be wrong, very much scaring, frightening yourself that the end is near, right? It's just all doom and gloom. And finally, the fawn response, where maybe you need to reach out and just start to apologize, or they do come back, right? Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Everything was good. And you're just constantly like, oh my gosh, you're trying to make it up as if you did something wrong, really going into people pleasing. Yes, in an extreme way. So that would be the fawn, the appease response. So when it comes to how you physically respond to anxiety, you've got fright, flight, freeze, and fawn, and oftentimes your nervous system will go into one of those. You sort of have one dominant way that you like to, not like to, but typically respond to anxiety, and all of the physical manifestations are accompanying you in that process. So how does your nervous system respond? Anxiety really being rooted in this hyperactivity of the nervous system, this reaction to something that happens externally, because now, oh my gosh, going into the past, going into the future, what is wrong? Also, with anxiety, and I know you may relate to this, anxious flirties. What if, right? What if you're really having a lot of intrusive thoughts, repetitive thoughts that just go into the realm of catastrophe, of extreme negativity, and you just can't seem to get yourself out of these thought loops. Yeah, it's hard to just think with clarity. It's hard to get a clear direction on how to move forward, on what do you need, right? Really being able to reassure, validate yourself. Don't forget you in all of this. What do you need to really feel calm in this moment, to ground yourself, right? To tell yourself that it's going to be okay, so you don't go into this, extreme reaction that is anxiety. And I say extreme because we all experience anxiety. And if you are someone that is in a chronic state of stress right now, a chronic state of anxiety, you're like, Benjamin, I feel anxiety all the time. It's I get it. I get it. I hope this Flirtini will at least be a little bit helpful in helping you understand, just bring some awareness to your anxious responses and why you may be doing that, and understand your anxiety a little bit more. Yeah. So in the space of anxiety, very hard to just think clearly. You're having a lot of emotions that can feel very strong as well. And it's just, yeah, all of this is taking you away from the essence of connection, right? Going back to this example of maybe they were really good about communicating, and now all of a sudden it seems like they're pulling back, or they didn't text back for 2 hours one time, or they were really quick before. A very general example I think many of us can relate to out there dating, but just beginning to help you understand how anxiety happens. And of course, there's all sorts of chemical things, of reactions happening in the body with our neurotransmitters, with our hormones. Our adrenal glands are now starting to pump out tons and tons of cortisol to help us respond to the anxiety, to respond to the stress. And our bodies are just trying to help us. They are, but they haven't exactly evolved at the pace in which we experience the intensity in which we experience life these days. Yeah, so even though our body is helping us to adapt to the stress, to the anxiety, with the fright, flight, freeze, fawn, right? With our adrenal glands, just with the way our biology is trying to bring some normalcy, bring some balance to our nervous system. It doesn't always work in our favor, but this is when you go. This is why so many coaches, practitioners, therapists, right? Creators talk about self-care practices, about grounding practices, about practicing self-compassion, doing the warm bath with Epsom salts, and the teas, and the going for a walk, and the exercise, and the deep breathing, and I'm going to say it, the yoga, because all of these are ways to bring some balance, some semblance of normalcy to what is a very, gosh, externally driven way of life that we all have, where we're all experiencing to some extent anxiety on a regular basis. So, how can we bring ourselves back to homeostasis so we can think more clearly and more reliably and authentically connect with our intuition? Yeah. Okay. So that was really, yes, a spiel on anxiety. Now, how about this intuition thing? Intuition is more steady. Intuition is more of a calm. Intuition is more consistent. Intuition is those thoughts and feelings that arise in the space between the anxiety, right? And the moments of stillness when you're on your drive to work or you're commuting to work on the subway or train, you're at the gym, right? You're starting to fall asleep at night or you're waking up in the morning, you're just sort of daydreaming, not completely detaching from reality, but more so going inward and connecting to yourself. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? And what are some of these feelings, sensations, thoughts that are somewhat subtle but sort of nudge at you, right? The ones, the thoughts, the feelings that aren't reactions. So you didn't get the text back, oh my gosh, I have to leave them. Oh my gosh, something is wrong. Oh my gosh, they're seeing someone else. Versus, coming back to yourself, bringing some homeostasis back, some balance back to your anxiety, calming yourself down. And then what are those thoughts and feelings you're having that are more connected to you, that really derive from being in alignment with how you're showing up in the world and how you're living your life. Intuition is also not really searching for answers. You're not necessarily asking yourself questions, right? But more so, what do I need? Intuition is really rooted in the present moment. Really, yes, being able to be with yourself. What is right for me? How am I showing up? Am I asserting my boundaries? Right? Am I really living in a way, dating in a way that is in alignment with my wants, needs, desires, dreams, all of my dating goals? Am I showing up in a way that's authentic? Am I advocating for myself? Right. And so this is a part of intuition helping you get some clarity around your actions and just in many ways being a practice of self-reflection. Intuition is also about sensing. So maybe like anxiety, it happens suddenly, where in a moment, in a flash, you have this intuitive thought, this intuitive feeling, this intuitive knowing that, I need to do XYZ thing, or something isn't quite right, or something is askew here, the way they're acting, the way they're behaving, something is causing some pause within your life, in your relationships, perhaps, and maybe that comes suddenly. But unlike anxiety, you don't feel the need to react out of fear. You don't feel the need to change or try and control the situation, try and now engineer a specific outcome. Rather, with intuition, you can be with this sense of calm, allow your intuition to be this sense of clarity, this feeling of, okay, I think I know what I need to do. Maybe I need to think about this a little bit, not ruminate, but just, how do I feel about this? What do I think about this feeling, this thought I'm having? And you're able to be with it without reacting, without judging it, right? If you feel like going back to the anxiety piece, you're moving, reacting out of fear, that's probably anxiety. If you're able to, yes, be with yourself, pause, take a breath, and then decide what your next move is, what your next decision is, in whatever, right? Your relationships, your dating life, or something else, some other area of your life, that is more, yes, most likely your intuition coming in to play. So, starting to wrap up this Flirtini, before you go to the meditation, all about connecting to your intuition, really cultivating confidence, right? Really being able to trust yourself. This is a big part of this process that I hear from you all the time, where you are perhaps able to differentiate your anxiety from your intuition, but then when it comes to trusting yourself, can you do that? Can you really validate and reassure yourself that you know what's best for you? You know what you need, that you're the creator of your life. And maybe you also believe in a higher power, another creator that you can lean on for divine assistance, for guidance, for help, right? Fantastic. Fantastic. You also have so much autonomy and control within yourself, your own being, your personhood, and within your actions and behaviors to also manifest, create, design the life that you are wanting to live. It really does all start with you and your beliefs and your actions and being able to align the two and trust yourself. So I hope this was a helpful Flirtini in distinguishing anxiety from intuition. Yes, what each of these are, how they show up in our dating lives and beyond, and then how to sort out the difference, right? Am I having an anxious moment? Is this a moment of intuition? What is the difference between the two? And where do I go from here? Yeah. Where do you go from here? You're going to do the meditation. Okay, that is coming up next. Of course, you can listen to it here, wherever you are, right on this platform. Of course, you can listen to it right here, whatever platform you may be streaming on. Yes, the meditation coming up next. If you prefer to go on over to FlirtTube, that's YouTube, and watch it there, where I've got a little bit. Yes, I'm actually going to put you in a supported reclined butterfly for this meditation, just to help you open up through the heart and your third chakra, right? Your center of intuition a little bit more. Only optional. You can absolutely do that meditation here. All right, that's coming up. And then the Flirtini is just going to end. Yes, Flirty, it's just going to end. So once once you've done the meditation, you can go on about your day, your evening, and your life. And I thank you again for being here. Yes. Here you are. Start to arrive here. You may close the eyes gently if that feels comfortable in your body. And just start to take some deep breaths, focusing on your inhales through the nose and allowing your exhales to go through the mouth. Continue breathing here through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Now bringing the teeth to touch, exhaling and making a shh. So good, Flirty. Sealing the lips, begin inhaling and exhaling through the nose now. Taking some time to elongate your breath cycles. There is no rush, nowhere else you need to be. This time, this space is for you. I'm going to gently come out to guide you through this practice, but you stay right there. Continue to inhale and exhale through your nose, unfurrowing the brow, relaxing the jaw, allowing your shoulders to drop, perhaps allowing your knees to drop a little bit more as with each exhale you arrive a little bit deeper into this practice. Noticing how you feel today. Maybe you're having lots of thoughts, it's been a busy day, you've been rushing around. Taking some time to slow things down. Now what I'd like for you to do is bring one hand to your chest, over your heart. One hand to your belly, can be either hand, left or right, you choose. And place the palm down on these areas. And feel the connection you have to your body in this moment. As you are breathing, do you smell anything? Are there perhaps some distractions in the background? Can you bring your awareness, your attention back to this moment, to your body? Do your breaths feel cool, maybe warm? Continue to breathe through your nose. And now invite you at any point to exhale deeply through the mouth, really forcing out all of that air, releasing perhaps some heat, some energy. This is an option always available to you. And with your hands still placed over your heart and your belly, your heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra, I want you to see if you can direct the breath into these areas. See if you can allow the breath to reach the deepest parts of the lungs, all the way down towards your belly, all the way up towards your collarbone. Your lungs even extend into your back body. Each inhale, see if you can bring in a little bit more oxygen, a little bit more energy into your lungs. And with each exhale, just letting whatever go you need to let go, releasing whatever you feel like you need to release in this moment. It doesn't always have to make sense. And now I'd like you to imagine a light. It can be any color that you bring into your body with each inhale. And with each exhale, this light begins to travel from your heart down towards your belly. The inhales, in many ways, fuel this light, allowing it to become brighter. And with each exhale, this light begins to travel just a little bit more, uniting, connecting your heart with your solar plexus. Keep breathing here, Flirty. If your mind wanders, totally okay. You notice those thoughts without criticism or judgment and come right back to this moment and to this practice. Now let's explore this light a little bit. What color do you see? What sensations do you feel? How big is this light? Is it accessible to you? Does it seem to want to travel? We embrace all these questions. We may not have the answers. Perhaps this light isn't even accessible to you today. That's okay. That's okay. We're here doing this practice together taking this time to be in stillness, connecting with ourselves, and building our confidence in the process. Deep breathing here. If you need to switch your hands, placing the other hand now over the belly and bringing the hand that was on the belly over the heart, I invite you to do that. If you'd like to allow both arms to fall open to the sides of you, palms up, I invite you to do that as well, whatever you need in this moment. A few more breaths here as you really feel this light now growing stronger, growing brighter, and fully connecting your heart with your gut, your instinct. It's the power of this connection that will really allow you to trust yourself and feel your way through many experiences you'll have, not just in dating, but in life. Knowing that you are enough and you have what it takes to take care of yourself. A few more breaths here to really internalize and connect with this light, as this light is truly an energy. I used to think that our chakras only existed in a kind of two-dimensional plane of sorts. That they only existed perhaps in our front bodies, or were confined to certain spaces. But in reality, your chakras are energy centers. They exist all around you and through you. Our different chakras reside in different parts of our body, for sure. Those are our energy centers, but that energy center extends through you and far beyond you as well. And this light is truly an energy that you can harness, breathe in whenever you need to. Part of this practice is cultivating this feeling that you now get to keep. It's yours, Flirty. You get to have it for the rest of your life. So whenever you do perhaps doubt yourself, second guess yourself, wonder if you're making the right decision, if you should stay with someone, remember this practice, come back to it as many times as you need to, and know that this feeling, this energy, this light feeding your intuition is yours. It is yours. We're now going to gently begin coming out. Namaste. Polarity, thank you so much for doing this flirt yoga practice with me for your intuition and dating confidence. You come back to this whenever you need to. And thank you so much for joining me on your mat today.